Disney. VeVe and Disney. It got him dizzy. We passed the moon, yo. He winning. Red drinks on true. For me and you. He call me did it, yeah. With the crew. I'm talking Dan and David U. Reese and Trevor. And Alice too, just to name a few. He called me a beast, they put Disneyland in digital. I be on the VeVe, I just caught me an original. Had to trust the vision, but right now it's looking visible. He a paper hand for the spreader, so despicable. Ooh. We been going up like a missile do. Ooh. All they next moves unpredictable. Ooh. NFT flipper, why me run it up too? All these major brands on the middle boat. Ooh. IMX. Disney NFT, I invest. Hold up, I just told my baby that we blessed. We was on it early, then the rest. VeVe and Disney, NFT Mickey. Don't go to moments, man, I got plenty. I got a goofy, by my convention. Oh, me and my wallet rocket, cause we rock with Disney.
What's up, my Omi homies and fellow NFT collectors? Guess who we got with us today? VeVe and 3 themselves. We got Corey from Corey and Heather, VeVe and 3. What's up, Corey? How you doing today, man? You feeling lucky for this drop?
I would be feeling luckier, but I just realized whenever we're talking pre-stream that I'm using my phone as my camera. So I will be grabbing this comic in the aftermarket for like 2 gems, probably.
I was going to say, you might actually save some gems. I didn't realize you were going to have that issue. I should have let you know ahead of time.
For these comics, I always like to go for 1. I mean, it's $6.99. If I was going to buy the physical comic, I'd be paying the same amount. You know what I mean?
True. And you're an NFT collector, so why not get the NFT instead?
And that's the truth.
Yep, that's my plan too, to go for 1 today. What's up, everybody in the chat? Thanks for hanging out with us at Drop Day. What's up, Daniel Marquez? First in the chat once again today. He hasn't been first in the chat in a while, so he must be feeling lucky today. What's up, Alejandro? Mr. Mark Gordon's here. We got VeVe Darklink, K Bacon, Deb and Bill's here.
Good morning, good morning,
good morning, everybody. Good morning, True Stoner. Good morning, Jerry, a.k.a. Tucson Collectibles, Mr. Evo, Drew Pear, all the Omi homies, Firefly Odyssey. Good luck if you're going for this drop. I did start a poll.
I just realized I can't hide that I'm not drinking coffee. It's pre-workout. You can actually see in my cup because of this camera angle.
We're gonna be keeping a track of how much coffee you're drinking this morning. We'll know when you're empty. What's up, J Money, Kobe Collects, Dr. Strange, Chago's here, Crypto Camper, Smart Buy. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. What's up, Janoy? I'm gonna check the poll. Let's see. We got we got 40% of people in the chat going for 0 boxes today, so they're skipping this, maybe buying on the secondary. We got 38% going for 1 box. 6% say they're going for 2, and then 16% are going for 3 or more. Must be feeling bullish on this. We'll check the price predictions. I already asked Corey if he wanted to watch the VeVe and 3 video, and he said yes. So that means we're going to be checking out the VeVe and 3 video.
Do a reaction video to my own video. It's weird whenever I'm watching your morning live stream and I pop in and the video's playing and I'm like, ugh, this is awkward. Now it's going to be like 100 times more awkward, but I love watching the videos. I love making the videos, so let's do the thing.
First we had YouTube Inception with him just watching the video. Now we got the third level of YouTube Inception. We're going deep.
What was it like? Cavell Anderson and who was that dude? Cody Thrive, and like Cody would make a video, then Cavell would make a video reacting to that video, then Cody Thrive would make a video reacting to that video of that video. That's kind of how I feel right now.
Yes.
Minus the controversy.
Like that happens. Minus the controversy. What's up, BE? What's up, Adam? What's up, Crazy Croat? See me back's in the house. Osin's here. Remedies World. What's up, everybody?
You got all the cool kids in your chat this morning, man.
Somebody asked about the Harley Quinn reveal. I forgot that's today.
Yeah.
Do you own one yourself, Corey?
Yeah, for sure. Heather and I both have one. You haven't done any of the stuff?
I did. I played the game, and it really wasn't that fun of a game yesterday. It was just like a chat thing where you pick multiple choice questions every once in a while. But the reveal was supposed to be at noon Eastern Standard Time, but apparently they released it early, so people are doing
seeing early ones, on Twitter.
Yeah. Looks like Crazy Croat got a rare, and I haven't revealed mine yet, so I was thinking I could do that on stream today. And
nice.
We got 20 minutes, so we might as well get to it. The only problem is I got to remember what the website's called.
Do you have like the back computer and all that good stuff in Discord? Like I'm a super nerd, you know, like I am on the channel. So like on the Discord, you can sign up for the back computer, and that gives you like access to special like Gotham City PD documents. You can solve mysteries. You can get like extra stuff out of it. I don't know if any of you are into the whole Bat Cow thing, but man, they do a bunch of cool stuff with that project.
Do you own a Bat Cow?
Yeah, I have one. Heather has one.
Oh, nice. See, I don't own a Bat Cow. I would be into all that, but now I'm kind of getting into the community. If I can remember what this website's called. Is it Palm? I'm trying to figure out where the website is where I can open my my box. I just had it the other day. I might have to get to my email to find it.
Oh, just type like Bat Cow.
I did
Like DC NFT Bat Cow is your Google search.
Okay. Once I get to the website, I'll be automatically logged in. Is it
Yep.
NFT now? No, that's like a page. Maybe you guys know in
Nope,
the chat.
that's not it.
I was
Keep
just at it
scrolling
yesterday.
down.
It's not Palm. All right. I do want to
Here, I'll just open up my computer and I'll tell you.
I thought I started with.
I forgot I'm sitting in front of two computer screens.
I started with an M. I thought, or no, maybe an M. Multiverse? No, that's not it. All right, I guess we gotta look in my email and find it.
Yeah, just Palm.io, right?
I don't think that's where they keep them though. Could be DC Universe. Somebody said DC
Here.
Universe. That sounds right.
Let me go to my email.
See, there's my collection. This should be it right here. NFT.DCUniverse. No, yeah, NFT.DCUniverse.com. And let me get logged in real quick. I'll put it over here so you guys can't see it. Somebody said was Crazy Croat said he got a rare. So apparently
I saw a legendary on Twitter. It looks super sick.
And this is a free NFT too. If you get a legendary.
I mean, how many free NFTs? If you're a cow holder at this point, you've got 1, 2, 3, potentially like 6 or 7 free NFTs. Plus, you got to tour the DC Warner Brothers archives, which was super sick. It was a video they made just for people that have the cows. And they took you to the Warner Brothers archives, and you got to look at the movie-worn cows throughout history. You got to look at the movie-worn suits throughout history, and you got to look at all the Batmobiles throughout history. And like the archival expert dude is like, he knows everything about it. You know what I mean? He's like, and if you open up the hood and you look here, here's where Batman keeps his crowbars. You know, he just knows all the stuff. It's super sick, man.
But that sounds awesome. I know that people have been super happy with all the airdrops they've been getting. I kind of wish I would have got into the Bat Cows. Did you get in whenever they first minted?
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome. Nice. I had to reset my password, I guess.
We don't get enough DC stuff on the platform. It's kind of like Batman Black and White, and like the load was blown and there was no more to give. I mean, we got the Artist Alley stuff. That's pretty cool. We have that one. Who is it? Not Luke Chu, Frank Cho. The Frank Cho Supergirl. Is that like the newer, not the first appearance Supergirl, but the beautiful Supergirl, like a really iconic pose? That's one of my favorite DC pieces on the platform.
Yeah, she looks great. I think are we in there? Want to play? Do I got 2 of these? Let's see. Let me find my collection. Hopefully
I just glanced at your chat and people are like, I got a rare, and I was like, did the drop start already? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone right now? But they're talking about the the Harley Quinn stuff.
We still got another 15 minutes. I might not be able to open mine today because I don't see it anywhere. I just saw it yesterday. Maybe I'm in the wrong account. I got 2 emails, but that sounds like the right screen name, but it's gone now. I don't see it no more. I just saw it yesterday.
What is it you're looking for exactly?
Oh, here it is right here. Okay. I think I used it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, RSVP for Mayhem, and then you would have done this little thing. You'd played the game.
If you guys played the game, it's a pretty cool story. But
this is another reason to be using their Discord, because you can go to the detective section in the Discord, and there's a bunch of people that know all the things, and they brainstorm on what the answers to the questions are. So you can pick a path, you know, whether you're working with Harley Quinn or working against her. Like, the Discord has it all figured out, so you can answer those questions correctly.
So did you get anything special if you got them all right the first time or anything?
I haven't finished mine. Like, I got 3 questions into it, or 3 steps into it, and I was like, I'm going to stop because I need to go check the Discord. Because I made that mistake with the last thing. You had to answer like 30 questions, and it was about the different districts. A crime occurred, and you're looking at like the high society section, Chinatown, like all the different sections that Gotham's broken into. And there was questions for each section, and they weren't easy questions. It wasn't stuff you're like, I read a Batman comic once, so it was like super involved. Like, you really needed to have dug through that, and I didn't have the Bat computer access yet because I wasn't a cool kid. And so I kept going back to the DC or to the Discord being like, so what's the deal here? And just reading the threads and everything. And I still missed one. I didn't get a perfect 30 out of 30.
Oh, no.
But I still got, I think I got a couple rewards for that, but I didn't get the cool. If you would have got it all correctly, you would have got like a cool little badge next to your name. where people are
Interesting.
like,
See, I
that
didn't.
bro's a master detective.
I don't think I got a reward. I completed them all, but I got a lot of them wrong. And if you get them wrong, you got to go back and try again. So I definitely didn't do good on the quiz. So that's probably why I didn't get a reward. What's up, Abdullah? What's up? We got the VVT in the chat. That's Heather, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's wifey.
I haven't seen her on that name in so long. All right, we're doing my reveal right now. Harley Quinn
boy.
time. Let's see what we get. Come on, legendary baby. I'm not very lucky with this kind of stuff. Common Gang? Yep, Common Gang. As expected.
Tricked out treat.
It looks cool though.
You can't beat the price either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's 100% free. And look, it's animated. It's animated.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. I like it. And now I feel like I'm part of the Bat Cow family, even though I don't own a Bat Cow. It's just cool to be a part of it because it seems like a really cool community. They always got Twitter spaces. So many Twitter spaces going on. What's up,
Yeah, they
Tony?
got a super involved space.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I guess it's time to get into the VVN3 video today. Shout out to Corey and Heather. Oh, look, there's
How
Corey
long ago
right
did I
there.
post that? 5 hours ago.
5
Yeah, I was
hours.
up super early in the morning.
Yeah, you better be drinking that coffee. You deserve it at that point. All right, guys. So I think, Corey, you'll have to probably mute yourself because if not, there might be an echo. I haven't done this before with 2 people on, but I always mute myself whenever I play your videos to
Muting in
prevent the
3,
echo.
2, 1. Mute.
All right, well, you
Grammarly makes communicate.
But that's cool. No, give me a second to get through your advertisements. All right, guys, this is the VVN3 video. I'm going to link it in the chat. The channel is also linked in the description. And make sure you're subscribed. Okay.
Welcome back to VVN3 with me, Corey, aka Old Rhubarb on VV, and
This is Heather from the VVT.
And the comic
There's
we're getting
no
on the platform
audio.
next is a crazy one, Wolverine number 66.
And speaking of
You won't be
crazy,
able to hear it, Corey.
this is your blood and gore warning for the video today. This comic is for mature audiences, and some of the panels we show you today will be pretty bloody and maybe slightly disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised.
All right, with that out of the way, this comic that is coming to the platform is a first appearance for 2 characters, Old Man Logan and Old Man Hawkeye, and it's landing on the platform on Friday, October 14th at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
And why is this comic crazy? Because it takes place in a timeline and universe that not many people are aware of. This story unfolds in an alternative future and universe of Earth 807128.
And in this universe, all the heroes are dead. The villains win, and they divvy up the land. Wolverine was amongst the group that made their final stand, and while Logan survived, he turned his back on being Wolverine and just lives a life of quiet desperation. And I mentioned that the villains have kind of divvied up the land. Well, the territory Logan lives on with his family is Hulk land. Like the name implies, Hulk owns this territory, and I think you're muted, bro.
Man, and I had just spoken some really cool stuff about the map. I'm just trying to ask Corey what exactly happened here. This is something that happened in the future. Sorry, guys, I wasn't muted yet. My button doesn't always do what I wanted to. But
Yeah. So essentially, this all happens in an alternate Earth and an alternate timeline. And in this timeline and in this reality, the bad guys win. There's like the giant battle, and all the heroes are wiped off the face of the planet for the most part. They all lose. Wolverine survives, but he stops being Wolverine and he becomes Logan. He just goes by his normal name. He like swears off ever doing hero stuff. He'll never unsheath his claws, and he just lives as like a no man in Hulkland. He's got a wife, he's got kids, he's just a farmer, and he pays his rent because that's what this is all about. All of these different territories, you got to pay your due to live in those territories. So that's kind of the. It doesn't really tie into 616 at all. There is a lot of speculation, but you'll see it in the video.
man, I think it's just wild that they got Incredible Hulk just owning his own all accounts.
I know it.
It's just wild. Okay, all right, guys. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Like the name implies, Hulk owns this territory, and his foot soldiers are his family, his very inbred family. Yep, Bruce Banner impregnated his first cousin, She-Hulk, and the result is a growing gang of inbred hillbilly Hulks who come to collect the rent.
And that's the overall starting premise of the story. The rent is due, and Logan doesn't have the money to pay it. He and his family die unless a solution is found. And the solution comes in the form of a blind friend from his past, Hawkeye, who suggests they make a delivery across the country for a big payday.
And this comic was written by Mark Miller with art by Steve McNiven. And if you remember back to our 1-for-1 auction that was from Steve McNiven, he did an interview. And in that interview, he talks about one of the highlights of his career was this comic. And it's easy to see why, because the art and story for this run are absolutely top notch. And while this is a beloved book for readers, it doesn't have a tremendous current physical value. Go Collect has this comic sitting around $160, slabbed at 9.8, and there aren't even that many of these preserved in circulation according to their census.
There's likely a lot of doubt about a character and a story and a timeline that isn't connected with the same 616 universe that we're typically used to, having long-term potential value. But one of the crazy things we've been thinking about is the potential for the new Deadpool 3 movie using this version of Wolverine.
And following that line of thought, that's the sort of kind of thing that you would imagine from Deadpool 3, that way out of left field type of thinking. And it's wild because I sort of organically was thinking about this while reading the book. Then I did a Google search and found out we're not the only ones thinking this. So in terms of catalysts, and inclusion in that movie may nudge prices upward. And it's important to note that this story loosely influenced the Logan movie, but the story is completely different. And even when the writers were questioned about the Logan movie in terms of how they came up with the story, they said that they loosely based it on Old Man Wolverine. But that story is truly its own unique thing.
Now you're hip to the characters, the storyline, and the value. Let's take a look at these variants and talk a little bit about origins as we go. First, the Common Classic cover is minting 12,000 editions. This is the NFT replica of the original cover, and it gives us a good snapshot of the story within. We see the Hulk gang, Hawkeye, ironically driving the Spider-Mobile despite being completely blind, Logan and his family in the background.
Next, the Uncommon Vintage variant is minting 4,500 editions. We're getting color selection on both the old men, appropriately, as this is their first appearances in the comic. Logan having his claws out is a solid tease by McNiven because the core concept of this story is that after suffering the defeat when the heroes were wiped out, Logan abandoned being Wolverine and swore to never unsheath his claws again. He just lived a quiet life because being a hero, it never works out.
Next, coming in at rare and minting 2,000 editions, we have the third printing variant cover coming from McNiven. This is the NFT replica of that physical variant. The physical value for this one, slabbed at 9.8, is $140. But beyond that, I'm a sucker for these kind of covers. We get to see each stroke of the pencil and the artist's intentions from his conception stages in a piece like this.
The ultra rare vibranium variant is minting 1,000 editions, and we have a big switch up with this cover. Normally our interior panel pulls are reserved for secret rares, but here we have an interior panel pull from page 24 of this comic, being sourced as the cover. Here's the panel. While this is being sourced from near the end of the comic, it sets and stage the start of the journey. And if you're a reader who's into post-apocalyptic madness with hero stuff sprinkled in, this is a book you're going to enjoy reading.
Last, the True Believer Secret Rare is minting 500 editions. This is a 2-in-1 cover. It is a replica of the second printing variant cover from McNiven, but it is also an interior panel. At this point in time, Logan takes beatings from thugs and does nothing about it. Here, for a moment, he imagines what it would be like to strike back against one of the Hulk gang thugs.
And that's a wrap for this info dump. We are still recovering from striking out on the Miles Morales collectible drop, but that is the life. We're looking forward, I think, to, both of us getting a comic tomorrow. Until the next info dump video, this is Corey.
And Heather.
Signing off.
Hopefully it doesn't sell out, Corey. Then you won't be able to get one because you're using your phone as your camera. But
I bet it'll sell out, buddy.
A great video, as always, like Dr. Strange said in the chat. And it was interesting to find out at the end there that wasn't actually Hulk on the secret rare. It was a Hulk thug. So apparently there's other multiple
his name's
Hulks.
like, I think his name, and it's funny because like all the Hulk gang members, they all have like very Hills Have Eyes names like Cletus and Jebediah and Jeb and Ebediah and stuff. I can't remember that one's name. He's anonymous henchman number 12 kind of thing.
Why do they have names like that? That's kind of cool though. I like that. All right, let's get in here to the price predictions. I'm trying to get to the top here. I think we started off with Phantasm. All right, so these are going to be your price predictions for today's comic. We got about, how much time do we got? Oh man, we got like 4 minutes. I better hurry up. So I'll just read
you
a few
better
of
be
these.
ready.
Okay, here we go. You got to be quick on this one, right? All right, Grand Ant says 2.5, 2.75, 9.5, 20, and 70 on the secret rare. Selwood's at 2, 2.85, 7.5, 15, and 51. I'm going to get the silver guys, the ones that are in silver, and some of the green guys. They're the ones that have been in the top 10 on our price predictions competition in the last couple months, so they're usually the most accurate. Dane's got 2.2, 2.5, 7.5, 14 on the ultra rare, and only 48 on the secret rare, which is actually pretty close to my prediction. I think Ryan's got 2.3, 2.8, 9, 18, and 55. Owo was on the leaderboard this month. He's got 2.3, 2.7, 9, 16.5, and 55. My price prediction, I'm a little bit below 2 on the common, 2.25 on the uncommon, 7 on the rare, about 16 on the ultra rare, and 51 on the secret rare. All right, let's get everything set up and ready to go. If you guys are going for this one, good luck everybody in the chat. I'm gonna buy one box. I guess I'll wait for my green truck.
Oh wait, I could go for it. I could just use the web platform. I don't have to use my phone.
Yeah, you can do that. I know some people who go for the drop sometimes on the web platform are able to hit. VVT called you Pappy. I don't know if she's calling you Pappy, but she said Pappy. Is that her?
Pappy's the name of the guy that's getting chopped. She's right.
Oh, is the guy getting chopped? Oh, okay.
That's why she's so important to my channel.
I thought she was calling you Pappy. I thought that was her pet name for you or something.
That'd be one heck of a pet name, though, right?
That would be a good one. Actually, I'm glad to see that she got her nose fixed because I was really trying to resist making a wife abuse joke. Essentially, since
it's so funny you said that because I'm like, aren't you proud of me? Like, not once during this entire ordeal have I made a single domestic violence oriented joke of any kind.
Same
She's
here.
like, you did good. You did good, Corey.
And especially since you just moved to Kentucky, I was going to say that you were trying to fit in with your neighbors, but I never did until just now. What's up, everybody in the chat? Good luck if you're going for this. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let me get everything put up on the screen. I'm just going to be going with timing today. I guess we'll try the old secret rare gate because I don't think it's going to lag out on me.
Let's do a 6, 7, 3.
If I remember correctly, you've gotten a secret rare on secret rare gate before, haven't you?
It's so crazy, dude. The one time we were in your stream, it was the first time we'd ever heard of the secret rare gate, and Heather and I were like, whatever, we'll try it. I got a secret rare. She got 2 secret rares.
That's wild.
I'm not kidding you. It's the only time in the history of us going for things where that kind of thing had ever happened. But it never happened again, so don't get excited, chat.
It could happen again. I'm not going to read what VVT just wrote. DJ Tico says VV Cash Out is the best, Hero is the worst. Tucson Collectible says Kentucky and Tennessee folks are still decent. I agree, they're decent. They're decent people. But I live in southern Indiana, so we always have an Indiana-Kentucky rivalry. Ever since I was a kid, I was told that Kentucky drivers are the worst drivers. And of course, I've met some people in Kentucky, and they're like, ever since I was a kid, I was told Indiana drivers are the worst drivers. So I think that's just how it works. Oh yeah, somebody was asking any numbers we should look for. I do have some numbers pulled up for today's drop. 2008 is the year it was published, and you can see on the title it says Wolverine and 2003 in parentheses. I never could exactly figure out why that 2003 was in parentheses. Did you explain that during the video, or do you know why, Corey?
The way it's set up is that's the first Wolverine comic that released in the series. So the very first comic of Wolverine #1 from this series, it released in that year.
Gotcha. All right, so I guess original series is what I wrote next to it. That's close enough. So that 2003 serial number will do well. 1974, of course, is the first appearance of Wolverine.
And 66, obviously, because this is Wolverine number 66, right? So any variation of 66 would be pretty cool to have. And it's a cool looking number.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. Like a 166. Well, I guess you can't get that. But 266, 366, anything like that would be nice.
And then you could maybe go for the universe, but that's pretty niche. Like, someone would have to be really into Marvel to be like, yeah, it's...
It's like
Earth 10876 or whatever. And you'd be like, all right, man.
What's
you
Minnesota
got this.
NFTs? Minnesota NFTs is asking what secret rare gate is. That's just backing out like less than 10 seconds before the drop begins, then going back into the page and clicking the button for extra luck. It doesn't seem like it's helpful, but for some reason it seems to get me a lot of secret rares. What's up, Random Hero? Let's do my Random Hero gift. What's up, Slap Rex? Robert Rosato's here. Everybody in the house, good luck. Ryan's here. Jay May says you have the same sentiment about low mint high market value drop following yesterday's debacle. Low mint / high.
What was the debacle yesterday? Did I miss it?
I'm just trying to figure out exactly what the debacle is. Low mint, high market value. So I think he's talking about the price of low serial numbers going down. And I think that has to do with somebody saying that there will be more sub 41 serial numbers given out in the future by VeVe. And because of that, some of the prices went down. Do you have an opinion on it?
I'm very long on everything, so will serial numbers matter? Will lower serial mints matter?
Right.
For sure. But long term, like if you just hold your stuff for like a year, make it through this recession, everything's going to be valuable. You know, some things will be more valuable than other things. And if you're a top tier, high dollar money collector, for sure, hit those hard mints like Star Wars 1977, you know, Pixar, you hit all those important numbers. But I do think low mint's always going to have value.
Yeah, I always thought
And
low cereals will have.
you got to think like how emotional is the VeVe market about everything? Like you know, David Yu farts and the entire market reacts to it. You know what I mean? And at a certain point, when there's a certain number of people on the platform, that stuff's going to stabilize. It's going to take bigger waves to cause any sort of market fluctuations.
Yep, I agree 100%. Somebody was asking in the chat if I still have my Miles Morales. I do still have my Miles. Man, I looked at it and I zoomed in, and if you look at the texture of the jacket, the zipper, man, it is such a detailed, really good-looking collectible.
It's a solid one, man.
Man, it looks great. And plus, I don't know, I feel like I relate to it the way it's got the style and the Jordans.
Did you look at the bottom of his feet? Like the soles?
Yeah, I saw the soles. I was trying to match up the soles.
Sick, right?
I tried to match up the soles with the the Jordans that he's supposedly wearing, and they have different soles. Because,
yeah.
I guess because it has the. See, as you can see, that's where I had it whenever it popped up. So they were different soles, but it's like so super.
Spider-Man faces on there, man. It's sick. Yeah. It's a really cool idea.
Oh, the Spider-Man faces on there? Let me see it.
Yeah, like flip it. It's his head split in half.
Oh, I did not recognize that. So that's his eye? Yeah.
Yeah, an eye on each foot.
Oh, I did not realize that at all. That's super cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't sell this even though I did pay 450 gems for it. The FOMO went tough on me yesterday.
I avoided it.
Good job.
I'll wait.
Job. Yeah, I know a lot of people did all right yesterday, whether they got the drop or not. Some people were able to be patient enough to pick those up for 200 or less in the market. And
is VeVe Camino in the chat this morning? Camino crushed it. Him and his old lady both landed a secret rare off the drop yesterday, my guy. It's crazy.
I did not know that. No, yeah. Camino's usually
well deserved. Love Camino.
Yeah, absolutely. He does a great job on his YouTube channel, too. If you guys aren't subscribed to Camino's YouTube channel, VeVe Camino. I need to mark down the prices for the Miles Morales for our 24-hour price prediction contest. So let me do that real quick. Check out what the floor prices are.
That's a good idea, Tucson. Waiting a week. I'll probably wait even more than a week, honestly. I'll wait till the next big shiny thing comes. And all the people that load it up want to unload to make some liquidity so they can get in on the next hype wave.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
I mean, look at Vader. Look at the price fluctuation for Vader. I still think Ultra Rare Vader is a beautiful long-term hold, but look at how it's responded to the next hype wave, the next huge shiny thing. And so, you know, that happens with pretty much everything that lands on the platform at this point. So I'll wait it out.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but I don't think it's going to go down too much further than where it is. I feel like it's kind of at the floor. Maybe that rare could go to 200, and maybe the ultra rare might drop to 350, but because of the low edition size.
That's it. The mints are going to hold it.
Yeah, I think the mints will help a lot. And, of course, we got this Pride 2. The snapshot for the Pride airdrops is tomorrow at drop time. And if you have a Pride 2, you'll get a particular NFT airdrop. And if you have a Pride 1, you'll get a different NFT airdrop. So that means both of those airdrops will be sub 2,000 edition size. And I do
Who's Rami Bang Bang? Are you kidding me? Look at this dude. You see that?
Dude, that's nothing. He's already sold at least 10 of them at 220. And I don't know if this is a good move or a bad move, but I feel like you're missing out because if you have multiples, you get multiple airdrops. It's like you're missing out on a lot of airdrops. So I do want to show you guys what my theory is. If you don't follow me on Twitter, if you do, you probably already seen this. But what my theory is for what the airdrop will be for Pride 2, because if you remember, when Pride 2 dropped, they accidentally dropped the wrong. If you go on the drop and you go for the drop whether you get.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Sorry about that. Yeah, they dropped the wrong asset at first, and they changed it like 15 or 20 minutes later. But since VeVe already has that asset, then it makes it seem like to me that that's going to be the airdrop for the Pride 2. And if it is, it's going to have some extra value because it looks so awesome. People liked that a lot. People were upset when they switched it over to the pixelated version. So my theory is that that's going to be what the airdrop is that you get.
It looks great. You know what I mean? I can get why people would be upset.
Yeah, especially when you got the other one, the pixelated one. I was not a big fan of that pixelated one. Compared to the first one, the Givenchy Pride 1, I liked that one a lot. I'm waiting for my delivery. It's not sold out yet.
A fun thing to do is go to different channels that you like watching and look at the evolution of how people have pronounced that brand name. It's went from like Givenchy Givenchy, Givenchy, like just go to any creator's channel, go through videos, and then just scroll down to the very first drop, watch that video, and then scroll all the way back up to the most recent one.
Yeah,
Look
you're
at the
100%
evolution.
correct. Because when I first did it, man, I pronounced it. I want to say like Givenchy. I think I said Givenchy, and then I got so many comments after that, and they told me exactly how to pronounce it. And ever since then, I think I do a good job. Because I'm like Givenchy. You gotta really,
Givenchy.
you gotta get really French with that one. Adam says, when is the Pride Snapshot? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the Pride Snapshot at drop time. But if you learned anything from the Blue and Beta snapshot, do not sell it after the snapshot until you get your airdrop. I know on the Blue and Beta airdrop, if you sold your required stuff after the snapshot before the airdrop, then you did not get the airdrop. I know because I did not get my airdrop, so I will always remember that.
And then Heather's reminding everyone in chat that the Bond snapshot, that's on the 20th, right?
I just saw her say that, and I think that's right, but we can check to make sure. There is going to be a snapshot for an airdrop for the Bond posters. If you own all 7 Bond posters, you will get the 8th poster.
The Dutch print, right?
Yes, and it's Goldfinger, I believe, too. No, Thunderball. It's Thursday, the 20th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which means
Danish.
Time. Yep, the Danish version.
I want to eat one of those.
Don Shopoff says, Vault, do you have a Pride? No, I got the Pride one on the drop for 100 gems, and I sold it for 4,000 cash.
Whew.
So I don't have it anymore, but I'm all right with that. How much?
Yeah, I'd be all right with that, too.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Deej with another great snipe, got number 202 common. How much should you sell it for? I mean, I would try to sell it quick while people are paying attention to the markets. The question is, what can you get for it? I'm going to go to the low listings. I would say put it up for like 500, 400, 500 would be my guess. Not financial advice, of course. All right, Corey, let's get into some of your VeVe. I call it the VeVe journey. Then somebody tweeted me back today, was like, what's a VeVe journey? I'm like, everybody's on a VeVe journey. What are you talking about? I think it was Tucson Collectibles. So tell us about your VeVe journey. How exactly did you find out about VeVe, and what convinced you to go in and start buying the NFTs?
Well, whenever I was living in California, Heather was on a 10-month deployment, and one of the other dudes whose wife was also on that deployment, he had a daughter about the same age as my oldest son. So we started hanging out. The wives were gone for 10 months. We needed some like bro time to like decompress. And so we'd work out 3 times a week. I had a little gym there in the garage, and he's super into like millennial money, Andre Gic, like all the money talk. He's a hardcore crypto investor, plays poker professionally. So he definitely has that like risk taker mentality. And he kept trying to hype me on VeVe for like months. He hyped me on VeVe, like, you need to check out VeVe, Andre Gic this, Andre Gic that. And then he's like, dude, Star Wars is coming to VeVe. And he knows that's my Achilles heel. Like, Star Wars is my jam. I love Star Wars. And, I did a little Google foo, and I was like, man, it's going to be like the first Star Wars ever anywhere. I don't know squat about NFTs, but that seems like a big deal. I'm old enough to remember when crypto first started happening, and people were buying pizzas with like whole bitcoins and stuff, and me being like, that's fake money, that's not real. And that was a mistake, right? Like, I learned from my mistake. So I saw the space. I didn't know a whole bunch about it, but I saw Star Wars, so I jumped in and just started collecting. I've always been a collector. I grew up, my father collected coins, he collected stamps. I collected like baseball cards and stuff like that. And yeah, I just started to get more into it, and I was a little frustrated because I think the first time that I was like super confused was DesignerCon, the first one, there right after that Golden Moments drop. And I just couldn't figure out who these artists were. I'm not like a highbrow, wealthy dude. I'm a lowbrow pleb. And so I was like, do I want to go for these things? Like, are these artists important? Like, what's the deal? So I started doing like a lot of research, and, I was telling all my friends, you should look at this or you should not look at that. And they're all like, dude, maybe you should like make content or something. So that's kind of the evolution. And then I think by proxy of making videos, it's made me a little more hardcore of a collector than I ever was. I'm definitely like way more knowledgeable about comics and stuff like that, because I'm not like Sleeping Comics or, Big Size Comic. I'm not like a legacy collector dude who lives and breathes that stuff. I kind of just know by proxy of making the videos. Yeah, it's pretty much the journey in a nutshell, man.
It makes sense that it was Star Wars that got you into it. Like you were interested in it, and then they said Star Wars, and you're like, boom, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, I was in.
And then
I got R2D2 off the drop. I got C3PO for, I don't know what I got them for, not very much.
I know I bought those two super cheap right after that drop and was able to flip them for quite a bit, even though I sold them too early. But they probably sold them for more than what they're worth now. And
Don't feel bad. I bought Partners for like 2.2K and I've never sold it.
2.2K?
And I bought it right after the drop for like, it was either I think at 2.6 is what I caught it at in the market.
So it was all the way up to like 40 or 50,000.
Exactly, and I didn't sell it, man, because I'm not a hardcore flipper. It's why I don't do market talk on my channel. Like I'm just not plugged into the markets enough. Because honestly, making info dumps, it looks like 5 or 7 minutes of work, but there's a lot of research and time and editing, and I just don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I guarantee it takes a lot of time. I know because I do a little bit of editing myself that I know that all the editing you do is you put a lot more into it than I do, and it takes me a ton of time to get one video done. Somebody mentioned the first Bitcoin purchase was for like 2,000 Bitcoin. It was something, it was like 70 Bitcoin or 17 Bitcoin, and now it's worth like $1 million. But that's the same reason why I got into NFTs too, because I remember missing out on the whole idea of picking up Bitcoins. And at the time, I was like into computers a lot, and it made sense to get the Bitcoin, but on the other side, I was afraid this is some kind of pyramid scheme or something. And then it was the blockchain technology is what ended up being, the thing that made it valuable. Man. And that's what makes NFTs valuable as well.
It was like crazy because it was back in my Navy days. I was on my first ship. So like this is like 2004, 2005 or something like that. And I had a couple buddies who were crypto technicians essentially. Cryptography, not crypto like you're thinking with Web3.
Gotcha.
And they're both like, dude, you need to get in on this crypto stuff, and like you can the only way to get it is you have to mine. And they were trying to explain how to do it. And these were the same dudes that were like modding Xboxes, legacy Xboxes on the ship for like $50. Like
Nice.
You bring them your Xbox, they'd mod it for $50 and have like 300 games on it. They put all kinds of questionable things on your Xbox for you. And they were super into that, and they were like trying to explain how to do it. And I was like, dude, I'm a farm boy from Ohio. I'm never going to figure that out. And it's one of those things that I think about a lot, like, because those dudes, who knows how they're doing now, probably pretty good.
Like I say, probably Bitcoin rich dudes now. Somebody said, Justice One said the market doesn't agree with. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Adam says it's not about flipping, but smart reinvestment. 44K partner high gets you 10 more partners today. I mean, you got to be able to judge the market and time the market to make a move like that. And what if you sell it at 44K and it goes to 100K? That's the problem. That's why I mean,
Adam, I've never said I'm smart. I've never made that claim. I don't even tell you guys in my videos, whether you should buy something or sell something. Like you'll never hear me in a video be like, you need to buy this, and if you don't, you're going to be drying your tears with damp tissue. I don't. I just give you the information. You make your best decision, and I don't make the best decisions sometimes.
Yeah, VeVe doesn't even do price predictions. Everybody knows price predictions is like clickbait. You want to say price predictions so people will come and watch it, and they're like, we're not even giving you predictions. We're just giving you the facts, right?
That's what we try to do.
Absolutely. Go to Retriever Boy says, not a bad time to get into Bitcoin. I was thinking that too. It's down so much right now.
Yeah, it is.
Wolfie Barker, you're going to ask the same question that I asked the first time I talked to VeVe3 in DMs. I'm curious about the rhubarb name.
So my buddy was super into Pokemon. Heather and I have always kind of been into Pokemon. We played Magic the Gathering. It's a card game if you're clearly unfamiliar. And we both would play in like tournaments and stuff. And so we were both kind of like a little bit into Pokemon, and we were always out because that's the same buddy I would work out with. So we'd go to the San Diego Zoo, and we'd go to all kinds of places, and he was always on his phone. And I was like, dude, what are you doing on your phone all the time, man? He's like, I'm catching Pokemon, bro. You should be there's a raid right now for a shiny something or another. And I was like, tell me about this. And so I was like, all right, I'll make a Pokemon Go account. And I tried like 17 different usernames, and it was like usernames taken, username taken. And I was like, whatever, I'll just make like a stupid name. No one's ever made this name before. And I was like, Old Rhubarb. And it was like, username accepted. And I was like, all right, I'm Old Rhubarb now. And so anytime I've made an account on anything after that, it's always like username taken. I'm like, I bet Old Rhubarb's not. And I throw that in there, and here we are, Old Rhubarb.
Never taken.
That's the
and
story.
A rhubarb is a vegetable, right?
Yeah, it's a stalk. It looks like a celery, but it's red. I think like the only edible way to eat it is kind of like in a rhubarb pie with a whole bunch of sugar.
That's where I heard the word for it from, rhubarb pie. I knew it was some type of
Yeah.
edible, and you had to explain it to me. We got somebody asking in the chat. I know DJ asked me a couple times on this. I'm assuming you're talking about Miles Morales. He said he got the number 917 Spidey Ultra Rare. What should he sell it for? Oh, it's the Brooklyn area code. That's what you're talking about. I hear you.
That's slick.
Yeah, and I asked Blockchain Rick James, because he lives in Brooklyn, which area code was most important for Brooklyn, and he said 917 over the rest of them for sure.
Nice.
So I would want 1,000 for it, and that might even be a little low because the floor is at like 300 or 400, and there's only 1,000 editions. Maybe the floor goes to 700, 900, or 1,000 over the next couple of weeks if we get a run on it, and then you would be at like twice that at least. So
Just be patient. Throw it up at a higher number than you think. Let it sit for. I guess it depends. Do you need money like right now? Like, did you need like all these gyms to buy some Hulk comics today? Because if not, like I'd throw it in high and just sit. And if it doesn't sell after a period of time that you're dissatisfied with, drop it a little. Drop it a little.
Yeah, you could get a quick sell on it if you want to sell it for cheaper than you could get overall. If you think there's other things in the market that are probably better pickups right now, if you're very bullish on Secret Rare Comics or Disney Golden Moments and you'd rather put your gems into that, then make your move now while people are paying attention to the market.
He's gonna stack some Squirrel Girls. I can feel it.
Hey, some people are stacking Squirrel Girls. J Money got one common and one uncommon. Number 204.
Nice.
Congratulations. Adam
Very
says, I
nice.
respect that. I hate it when streamers don't know anything and tell watchers to buy or sell off Bud. I mean, I hope you guys were not following my advice yesterday when I was buying the rare Miles Morales for 450 gems. I think I paid more than anybody else that I've heard so far. A few people paid 400, but I beat them. It was a contest, and 450, I'm the winner.
I mean, I was buying stuff in November and December, so don't feel bad. I could show you some receipts that would make you weep. I mean, I bought a Mark Bagley because Mark Bagley is like a legendary Spider-Man comic, and he has an exclusive cover on the platform. It's the only exclusive cover on the platform from Mark Bagley, and there was only like 12 of them in the market at that point. I bought it for like 500 or something like. I bought it for a lot, like a whole bunch. I could buy it right now for like 100 gems or something. You know what I mean? Like,
which one is that?
The Mark Bagley Spider-Man?
Yeah.
It's the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 50. It's the iconic cover where Spider-Man's thrown his costume in the trash.
Yeah,
Gets referenced in Amazing Spider-Man number 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 2, the movie.
That is a cool cover.
Where he throws
Absolutely.
it. And that Mark Bagley, there's a colored one and then there's a non-colored one, and those are the only 2 exclusive covers from him, and he's a big deal artist.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta get more knowledgeable about which artists are the most important. I've been waiting for a Peach Momoko because I know everybody's always talking about Peach Momoko, and I'm a big
awesome.
Joe Madureira fan just because I like a couple of his other pieces. Knight Rider says, for how much would you sell an Invisible Woman Ultra Rare number 2616 because it ends with 616? I would say you get like maybe an extra 10 to 25% above the floor. Not much more, I don't think. J Money's 204 was a common. That's still a great serial number. You should do all right with that. You beat me on that by 10 gems, says Uncle Zaza. Common 9K edition on the drop for Dijon. That's not bad, I guess. I would hold all those commons. I'm not selling commons for 2 gems. OG codes are 832 and 713. Man, y'all know all those area codes. I don't know what an OG area code is. Is that an area code before Brooklyn changed area codes? Do they get reestablished?
This is the value of doing these live streams, honestly, man. It's why I listen into so many live streams, because I would never have known, Brooklyn 6, that never would have crossed my mind once. And that's just like an extra awesome piece of information. One thing that I'm doing, like a side project, is the VVN3.com website, which is going to be a Wikipedia for literally everything that's ever landed on the platform. I'm going to do artist profiles and all kinds of stuff like that. And that's the kind of extra information that I love to hear, because it's just like an added thing that I can throw in there. I don't have everything popular on there, but like if you click on comics right there, it's pretty sexy. I'm happy with it so far. I mean, it's got a lot of work. Go ahead and click like Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man tab up top there.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah. Give that one a click.
Whoops.
And then now you can find that comic I was just talking about, Amazing Spider-Man number 50. See it right there?
Yep.
Give that a click.
Wow, this looks great.
Yeah, and there's the covers. You can see it right there. The ultra rare and the rare, that's the Mark Bagley cover I was talking about.
Oh, I got you.
whenever I'm not getting like smashed by these info dumps via like New York Comic Con and stuff like that, I'm populating the website with pertinent information and extra like facts and trivia. Like if you scroll down just a little, you can see like I threw some like extra information in there that really is probably only going to be available or important to like people who are super into comics, but just cool little things like that.
Yeah, it says here Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon both make first appearances in this
isn't
comic.
that wild?
I had no idea. Yeah, the website looks great, as Alejandro said, and you can go in here and look at different comics. You got the about information. Make sure you guys check that out. I didn't realize that was. I didn't realize you had been working on that, and it looks so
I haven't
good.
been promoting it very much. Eventually, my goal is whenever an artist releases something, like let's say we get an exclusive cover from whatever, if we get an exclusive cover from Mark Bagley, eventually I'll have an artist profile for Mark Bagley on my own website. So there's just no risk of YouTube being, or some other source being like, or Marvel Fandom's a good example. Like, it's hard for me to reference some websites because I have to spend time in Photoshop getting rid of all the ads on their website. You know, you like open up Marvel Fandom to look at anything. A pop-up ad covers half the screen. You close that one. Another pop-up ad takes up a corner of the screen. You hit X. It's not how you close it. It opens a new web page, and it's just like a super frustrating process. So it's a lot of front-end work, but I feel like once I get things populated, it's just going to be maintenance.
I like the idea of you having one of having the artists up there, and you can click on an artist and see all the different what are they called, exclusive covers that they've done on the app.
That's one thing that Heather's doing right now. She's organizing all the artist information, and it's going to be, I think, really important for collectibles as well. So like if Luke Chu, you know, Ghost Bear, if he releases something, you can find that collectible on the website because there's a search bar on the top and it works. So you could just type in whatever you're looking for. And then if you click the artist name, Luke Chu, it'll take you to his profile page, give you all the information you need about the artist. And then at the bottom, everything they have on the platform. So I'm just trying to find a way, kind of like with my info dumps, I'm trying to find a way to save people time. That's my shtick, right? Like I'm trying to save people time.
Yeah, that's all the information you need right there in one website. Kryptoni's on the Common Gang today for all comments. All comics today. Tucson says parts of Brooklyn are basically New York City, but not technically. That's why I was saying with those area codes, some of them aren't as important as other ones to Brooklyn. JBS says too many people in New York City, so they made Manhattan 212, and the rest of new distributed numbers were 917. At the same time, Long Island went from 516 to 631. I mean, I did not know New York area codes were this complicated. Alejandro's liking that website.
City.
I know, yeah, that's true. It is a huge city. What's up, Jermaine Ellis? Newman says he got an uncommon today with a 4-digit. Oh, he got 3 uncommons? Wow, I guess that's better than 3 commons. Actually, I like commons better. Adam says New York City is the city broken into 5 parts. For those that don't know, Brooklyn is one of those parts. You got Brooklyn,
Boroughs.
Bronx, Manhattan. Give me a second. Coney Island? I don't know.
Cody Island.
What's up, Ruin 88?
You did better than I would have.
I got 3 out of 5. If I thought for a while, I'd probably be able to figure it out. I'm sure they'll let me know in the chat. Kryptoni says the potential of VeVe is still unmatched. The IP is undeniable, but there has been all disappointment since March. I've done better in every other platform. Still bullish, though. But dang. I mean, I hear you. What other platforms are you doing well in? I know some people
I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, I know some people are doing good on, they feel like they're doing good on the back cows because they're getting the airdrops, and I agree. That's a platform or a project that I wish I would have got into earlier, but I did get my Harley Quinn today, so I'm starting to get into it now. What's up, Jimmy Hoffa? I haven't seen you here in a while.
Jimmy Hoffa.
He says you got to use the Brave browser. It looks way cleaner, and it blocks all those ads and stuff. Ooh, that's a good tip.
It's true. It's true.
What's up, Mike Mayer? D says got 2008 common. How much should I resell it for? That's one of the numbers we're looking for. 50, maybe 100. Yeah, I'd say 100. I'd say 100. It's not a super popular comic, and it's not worth a lot in the physical world, so maybe 50. Dennis O'Connor says 2 rares and a common for him. Not bad at all. Matt Smith has a question for BBN3. He says, are you stacking any AF-15s, and where do you see the commons and the AF-15 in the future?
Well, Matt, I'm not rich, so I don't stack much of anything. I did not get one on the drop. I purchased one after the drop. Heather got one on the drop, so I think we've got like 2, maybe 3 between our accounts. If I had that unlimited money glitch, I would stack a whole bunch of them. You know, it's not even really an argument as to whether or not that is probably going to be the most valuable comic. The only thing that could potentially upset the value of that is if DC comes on as a publisher and they release something like where is it? Do I have one like this right here?
You're gonna pull out a first appearance Batman or a first appearance Superman on us?
Yeah, let me grab one from over
here. Did you
here.
just destroy it?
Well, it's a facsimile, so I don't care.
Okay.
But like a Detective Comics or something like this, and they release like 500 of them. Right. You know what I mean? Because this is another comic, like the actual real comic, not this facsimile, which you could get if you're a member of the Rhubarb Patch. Shameless shilling. But it would take something to be very, very limited and also very, very valuable to upset the value of AF-15, in my opinion. I mean, look at Amazing Spider-Man 252, first appearance of Black Suit, arguable first appearance of Black Suit. The reason that comic smashes skulls is because they only released 1,000 of them.
Yep.
But the physical value of that comic, it's nowhere near the realm of the value of it on the platform. And so they really can mess with the value of things on the platform simply by squeezing those edition numbers.
Yep, that's true, 100%. And sometimes I worry about that on some of the art that I've stacked because I stack it because it's low edition, but as they drop more low edition stuff, then the other low edition stuff starts to lose a little bit of value. Adam, thank you, Adam. Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, not Coney Island, and Queens. Forgot about Queens. Co Reed, what's up? Co Reed said Brave browser is good, but not for VeVe web app. No, I think he's talking about so that Corey can pull those images easier.
Yeah,
KCP
I need to do that.
Lester Suarez says 483 on the floor for 10 gems. Yeah, that would have been a good pickup. I haven't seen anything worth sniping. I tried to get one or two of them, but we got a 2-gem floor. Let's go and check all the floor prices real quick, see how the secret rare's doing. I really like that ultra rare with the car on the cover. And like Corey mentioned in his VVN3 video, that's one that they pulled from the...
which is unprecedented, I'm almost positive. I don't think there's a single other comic on the platform that's ultra rare that they pulled an interior panel for. Really? I could be wrong. I would need to fact check myself on that. But almost all of our interior panel pulls to the cover, it's exclusively been for secret rare comics. Huh. So that's pretty wild.
And the common and all the way up through the rare is a little bit different this time because they have 3 different versions, and the rare is kind of like what the uncommon usually looks like with all of the ink pulled out except for the title.
And that's because the rare is a physical variant, and so is the secret rare. Both of those exist as physical variants in the real world, but the uncommon vintage variant, that's our classic color selection.
Gotcha.
And then for whatever reason, the ultra rare this time is the interior panel pull. So yeah, it's a very weird comic in terms of that.
Switch the secret rare and the ultra rare, maybe that would have made more sense.
I think they picked that as the secret rare because that variant isn't worth as much as the standard trade variant. So like the original comic that published that cover is worth more than that variant. But that's such a badass. Sorry, that's like a really awesome cover. Are we allowed to cuss on your stream, dude? Like I don't know what the rules are.
You are, but I'm not. I don't cuss, but you can.
Okay, but yeah, it's just a really BA scene, and they put that on there because I think a lot of the things they release on the platform are for mass appeal, right? Because if they just appeal to niche collectors, it wouldn't get as much hype. And so when the average person looks at that cover, they're like, dude, that's Wolverine fighting the Hulk. Even though we know now it's not the Hulk, that doesn't matter. So to an average person, they might buy that cover just because they're like, dude, that's the first cover that has the Hulk getting slashed up by Wolverine on it. I want it.
Yeah, and it looks cool. And especially if people are able to put their comics in their showrooms and they want to make some kind of cool art designs, you just zoom in and make it really big. And it's just, it's a crazy looking cover. You got blood going everywhere. And poor Hulk is getting beat up. And I don't know what's up with Hawkeye being an old man now and he's blind. And why do they have a blind guy driving a car? I think that's, he's
got like those super senses. He's got that Daredevil stuff going on. His sight has been taken. But no, they joke about it in the comic, and he's like, should you even be driving? You're blind, bro. And he's like, just nudge my arm. We're driving through a wasteland, because they're driving through open desert, so it's not like they're crash. And that car that he's driving is the Spider-Mobile. So that's kind of a cool little thing. And then the Hulk thugs, they roll up in the Fantastic Four mobile, which they've appropriated from the Fantastic Four because they're obviously all dead as part of this universe storyline. So there's some cool little like Easter egg things. You know what I wish? I wish comics would release consecutively, because this is part 1 of Old Man Logan, And now it's like I'm not going to get to think about that comic again for like months. Whenever, will they ever release part 2? Who knows? They've done it a few times. Like we had the Craven saga, right?
True, yeah.
So we got all the Craven comics in order. We had the Fallen Sun, the Death of Captain America. We got all of those in order.
Right.
It would have been cool to get this all in order because Old Man Logan has a lot of sauce. I think the reason that they're releasing this right now is part of a Marvel marketing campaign, because there's an audio series right now that Marvel's releasing called Wastelanders.
Oh, okay.
And it's exploring this storyline, and it's an audio format. They've got voice actors doing it, so it's like super epic. So I think it's either tied into that, or like you saw our Deadpool 3 speculation. That's pretty flimsy, but Hugh Jackman got pulled for Wolverine, obviously, so he's going to be in the Deadpool 3 movie.
I mean, that's the first thing I thought of whenever I saw this, because they're always trying to match up what they're releasing on VeVe with what's going on in the MCU, and then they just said Wolverine's going to be in Deadpool 3, so I was like, maybe that has something to do with this comic.
And I used to think that was rubbish. Like, I used to think maybe I shouldn't talk about the potential MCU use if something isn't established because it's so speculative.
Right.
But at this point, it seems like it's not quite as speculative as we think. It seems like stuff's pretty much lining up with popular releases on Marvel, whether that's Disney Plus or a movie or a new comic release. And some of it seems like really nichey. Like you would really need to be plugged into comics to catch these things. Like sometimes a comic releases that's a first appearance for like a kind of a no-name character. And then I check the Marvel website and a new comic series just released, like last week that has that character in it.
Oh, right.
And so there's these tie-ins that are happening. And I don't think that matters right now on the platform, but when and if there is a mass population of people on the platform, comics will be its own thing. There'll be people on the platform that don't give a crap about collectibles. They don't give a crap about 2D art. All they care about is comics. Those people are going to know. They're going to see a comic and they're going to be like, holy crap, like this is releasing. I need to get this comic. Because those are all spec books, right? Speculative books you purchase in the hopes that in 10 years it increases in value because that character becomes super popular.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Marvel could even use VeVe to tease stuff that's coming in the future in the MCU to their collectors that collect their NFTs.
Oh, speaking of, you are using your Marvel Insider points to enter into the Red Skull and Marvel Comics 1 giveaways, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the Red Skull one was already over. I know that I had a certain amount of points already there, and I had enough to enter the Red Skull giveaway twice. So then I had a few left over, and then they announced that they're also doing a giveaway for the Marvel comic #1 as well. And I guess they're going to be doing a new giveaway every week, which is just showing, all their Marvel subscribers VeVe NFTs. But do you know when they're going to announce the winners for any of those giveaways?
I don't. I didn't look at the contest details, to be honest. I just kind of I check it and I'm like, oh, I can enter again. So then because I have like 97,000 points.
Oh, nice.
And that may seem like a lot, but you can just go into Insider, download like a game, play the game, enter in the username that you created for the game, and that's 20,000 points by itself. Like the Marvel Contest of Champions is a mobile game that doesn't cost anything to play, and it's fun. It's Mortal Kombat with Marvel characters.
Oh, wow.
It's a mobile Mortal Kombat game, essentially. And they'll release like different not expansions, but like seasonal activities. Like they did a She-Hulk Titania like add on to the game where you had to like fight your way to get to Titania for an epic battle. And if you completed that in normal mode and you confirmed that you had done it, you got like 15,000 points. And if you did it in heroic mode, you got like 25,000 points.
Dang.
So there's ways to get like a whole bunch of points just sitting on the toilet and playing a video game, which, that's a win for me. The toilet's the only place I get peace.
I kind of wonders how many people are doing that and like getting dozens of entries into the giveaways are going to have better chance of winning it.
I know one guy who does. It's me. Like I've been entering twice a day every day.
You better win something if you're doing all that work for it. Let me catch up with the chat. G Money says that Woodzilla has you spoiled, Tony. Somebody bought a Woodzilla. I'm just kidding. I know some people are stacking those. Kryptoni likes them. Let's see. J Money says this might be the comic I read. This does look like an interesting read, but like Corey said, it's going to probably end off at the end. You're not going to be able to get the next one because it's only one comic. I kind of feel that way with even Amazing Spider-Man #1. I'd like to see what happens in Amazing Spider-Man #2 and continue the story. Same with Fantastic Four. Pixel Pudding got 5 commons delivered. Woody Conway came in 6 minutes after the drop. Figured I'd buy one since the button was still there. Got a 5-digit common. Welcome to Common Gang. And then I want to see what Mr. Evo's talking about. He said, did you see what David Yu said about the stamps tomorrow?
He's been waiting for this one for a long time, if that's the tweet he's talking about.
No, he says that about every drop.
David Yu loves stamps, though. Like, that's the
true.
thing. Like, one of his niches that he likes to collect in is stamps. And it's worth mentioning. And, like, here, I think I showed this in a live stream, but this is a free magazine you can get from the United States Postal Service. It's called Philatelic. And they send you this for free to your house. And inside of it are all the stamps that are dropping. Like, here's the stamps that are about to drop, the mariachi stamps.
Oh, nice.
And so if you just purchase these stamps, like if you bought the whole panel, it'd be like $11.95. If you bought the ceremony memento with it, it would be like $39. And so one of the issues with stamps right now is we're not getting a lot of historic stamps. And I think that's like a licensor thing. Like, the USPS it's not like negotiating with Disney or,
right.
Negotiating with you're negotiating with the United States government.
Right.
That's a whole different animal in itself. And stamps are just a wild, wild thing because ours are stamp art. They're not even stamps in the terms that they don't have utility.
Right.
And I know people are like, well, why would you use a stamp, even if you could, if it was an NFT? You would, because other countries are doing it, like Austria, Switzerland, the UAE. They're all their governments are releasing NFT stamps that come with a physical. So you get your physical and you get an NFT with it. And so right now, the United States as a country is kind of like lagging behind the global stamp collecting niche, if you want to call it that, because people talk about stamps. More people collect stamps than anything else. And there's some truth to that. There's a whole butt ton of people that collect stamps, but typically people collect stamps in a certain niche, like U.S. presidential or sports, or I like Star Wars stamps. There's Star Wars stamps that exist.
Right.
And so if you're a global stamp collector and you're into NFT stamps, are you going to collect stamp art, or are you going to collect stamps that actually have utility and can be sold on like OpenSea? Because you can go on OpenSea right now and just type in like Austria stamp or Switzerland stamp, and they have like unicorns and stuff on them, and they're high dollar items. Like, they are exceptionally high dollar items by comparison. But still, our stamps are the only stamps coming from the United States of America, so that's something.
I don't think they can even add utility to ours since they crossed out the United States or America or whatever. They crossed out that part.
That's actually accurate, though. The actual stamps, like if you would buy those at the post office, it's crossed out on those too. Like,
really?
It is 100% a pure replica in terms of the artwork. So that's no different. The big argument I've heard, and it's probably worth mentioning, is that maybe the stamps will get utility in the future.
Right.
And that argument is based on the idea that you think VeVe is going to be a logistics and shipping company in addition to producing NFTs, which, it's not going to be. Like, VeVe's not going to get into the business of delivering mail and tracking mail.
Sure.
And further, there's a company, and you could Google it, called Case Mail, like CASE Mail. And that company produces actual NFT postage for the USPS. So there's a company that already exists that provides NFT tracking and shipping services to the United States Postal Service. So we're probably not going to get utility with our stamps. Does that mean our stamps are going to be worth nothing? No, because again, they're still the only stamps in the United States of America being produced officially as NFTs. So if you're from, England, or you're from Austria, and you want to collect stamps, you're interested in stamps from the United States, and you're interested in NFT versions of those, there's only one place you're going to be able to get those, and right now that's on VeVe. So it's still a big deal. It's just not as big of a deal as it could be if they had that utility built in.
And down the road, if we have stamps that do have utility from the USPS and they start to be sold on OpenSea and traded on OpenSea the way the other country stamps are, what matters most whenever it comes to the blockchain? Which one was first on the blockchain? People start collecting stamps, they're going to want the first ones on the blockchain.
I agree.
And they're at VeVe.
I agree.
So
G Money, old rhubarb, low key bearish on stamps. Actually,
that.
it's funny because like I love stamps and I grew up collecting stamps. My dad would go to shops that had coins and had stamps, and you know, we would look at them. I had those huge encyclopedias where there was blank spots for stamps throughout eras.
Oh, yeah.
And I would find them and I would stick them on the pages. So like I love stamps, and I like the stamps that we have on VeVe, but I like to be realistic, you know, and look globally at, you know, what are the values of things globally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was collecting the stamps at first because I already had the first set and I felt like I could get every single stamp on the app as they kept coming out, but the prices kept dropping, so at some point I just had to give up on them. But I did notice, as somebody mentioned in the chat, about David Yu's tweet here, and he says, you will need to work out the surprise in this one, talking about the stamp drop, and then he's got speakers here, so it almost seems like if you put these stamps, maybe you have the whole set, they play a song. That's one possible thing. Or maybe
that'd be cool.
Maybe if you put these stamps with the Day of Dead stamps, they play a song. It seems like there's some type of utility there.
And yeah, in terms of what I was just talking about, if they would add utility like that to the stamps, that would be a big game changer for stamp collectors. You know,
yeah.
to actually get something other than just stamp art. And even if you look at the Medium articles from VeVe and you scroll through them, it says specifically on there, you know, stamp art. So adding utility to them like that would be genius, especially if they did it like retroactively. Just think if they went back to the ballpark stamp that released and they added the jingle.
Oh, yeah.
You could go back to the Day of the Dead. You could use music. I mean, pretty much every stamp. We have Christmas stamps. That's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Santa themed.
Yeah, I'm sure
that'd be major.
Whatever the song is or whatever the music that comes with these, they're mariachi stamps. So it's going to be some mariachi music. I don't know if you're going to have to own all of the stamps to activate it or whatever, but you can tell from David Yu's tweet there that something's happening with that. Kryptoni says he stacked the Woodzillas at 50, the rest of it at 75. Sold a few, might grab a rare mouse at 200, 250. I think that's a good pickup. I almost tried to sell some stuff to get me a rare mouse. I got a couple of things on the market right now that I don't necessarily want to sell, but the point for me to selling those is I'm hoping to sell at least one so I can pick up a Pride 2 before the airdrop, before the snapshot. I kind of want to get into that airdrop. I think we already mentioned it, but if I haven't mentioned it yet, the Pride 2 airdrop snapshot will be tomorrow at drop time. If you have a Pride 1, you'll get one set of airdrops. If you have a Pride 2, that's a whole different set of airdrops. So that means both airdrop edition sizes will be less than 2,000. And if you have multiples, you'll get multiple airdrops. Go to Retriever says, make sure you sell all your Pride 2 right after the snapshot. Yeah, I think I did mention that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, Corey, tell us a little bit about your collection. I did want to ask you, who has the better collection between you and Heather?
It's funny because Heather and I, as corny as this is gonna sound, we like the same stuff, so it makes it really easy and kind of dangerous for us financially, because we'll be like, man, there's like this that I don't know if you can see it over my shoulder, but there's a Luke Skywalker. Here, I'll just grab him. Am I tethered? I'm not tethered. So like this sideshow collectible Luke Skywalker, he's got like replacement hands, replacement heads, replacement sabers. It's like fully posable.
Nice.
We see stuff like that and we're like, can we spare, you know, $175 this month? And we're like, maybe we can. Hey Heather, you want to jump in? Yeah. Atlas down.
We were just talking about, she must have heard us talking about her. We were talking about you to see who had the better collection. She came in here to say, I got the better collection.
But audio.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to hear anything.
Corey can do sign language for us.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here, actually, why don't we just swap out? You can talk for a bit.
Oh.
Here you go. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna let Heather jump in. It's been great chatting you with you, buddy.
Thank you, Corey. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
What's up, Heather? Welcome to the stream.
Hi.
We got Heather from VeVe and 3. How are you doing today?
Not too bad. I actually just got back out. I was out running errands real quick, and so I had to like pull over on the side to get the drop. What's up? Yeah, I landed 3, and I got 2 commons and 1 rare. How did you guys do?
2 commons and 1 rare. Did I even check to see how I did? I don't think I ever checked. Oh, I got an uncommon. I never checked. That's how important
You
it
didn't
was
even
to me.
check.
I just realized
Oh,
I
nice.
got an
It's such a
uncommon.
sick cover, though. We had so much fun looking into this one. Like, the whole, like, incestuous Hulk thing. It's very Kentucky, right? So, like...
It's a good way to describe it. I would have to agree.
Yeah, it was something else. When I was looking at the cover at first, I was like, is that Hulk Jr.? Because, you know, there's a few different storylines.
Right.
And then, yeah, finding out, like, there's the whole Hulk gang. I was in here earlier whenever you guys were talking about all of the names, and certainly Cletus and Bobby Joe, Old Pappy, like...
Is it Old Pappy getting
I
sliced?
wonder how they came up with those
I'm pretty
names.
sure Old Pappy's the one that's getting sliced
Poor
in
old
the
Pappy.
in the secret rare. Did you guys have many secret rares land in the chat?
I don't think I saw any secret rares today. I know I saw 1 ultra rare, and I saw some great serial numbers, some low serial numbers. I saw lots of commons today. We are common gang for life in this chat. Dan Wiseman got an ultra rare. Shout out to Dan Wiseman. Let me check the chat real quick.
Nice.
Smarty Bass says VeVe is becoming boring these days. No good drops coming. 1 to 2 good drops come out, but always super limited, and Asia is always left behind on those. Heather, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna leave that one to you. You got a response for Smart Buy? What do you think about that? Do you think it's becoming boring because they only have 1 or 2 good drops every month?
I don't think it's boring. And the reason why is because that creates market variety. You know, if everything was super exciting and super hype, that's not going to make for a very healthy market, for one thing.
True.
Just everything would be very expensive. Everything would be very desirable. And even though not everything is super exciting, there's something for everyone. And even though VeVe has been around for a couple of years, it's still really important to remember we are still very early VeVe game. We don't have all the specific niche collectors for all these special things. Somebody out there loves Incest Hulk. So just because you don't doesn't mean it's not exciting for someone. And so,
I don't know about that, but I know there's some people out there that love T-Rex, and somebody was mentioning in the chat T-Rex is dropping again. I feel like that's one that there's so many Marvel and Disney fans on the app that some of the other stuff is getting slept on, like you mentioned. I don't know about the incestuous hawk though. Some people might like that kind of stuff. Cesar Delgado says, I have some gems to spend. Should I get Miles Morales or Pride 2? I'm gonna go with because then you get the airdrop. I want that airdrop though. I would get Pride 2, get the airdrop, and then go get Miles Morales. What do you think, Heather?
yeah, so I definitely think neither of those are great market buys at this time, due to the fact that people are going to be going for the airdrop, so that's going to make it a little more expensive. But conversely, I also think Miles Morales is very expensive because it just dropped yesterday. You know, a week, a month, the next big hype drop, Miles is going to drop down. But the Pride, you're going to lose money on that specific collectible because the value will drop right after the airdrop. But then you get that airdrop, which could be potentially very valuable. Could be that super sleek Jean Vichet Rewind Collective collectible that we saw before. Could be something new. So between the two, if those are the only 2 options, I would go with the Pride 2 for the hopes of that airdrop. Well, not just hopes of airdrop, confirmed airdrop, right? But the Miles Morales, there's no reason to hype in on that right now. That's still FOMO market.
Man, telling me, and I bought it at $450, but you're right. She's right.
Yes.
You're right. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know, and I'll ask you, Heather, as well. What do you guys think on the price prediction? I know we don't have a lot of information about the Pride 2 airdrop, but the price prediction on it, I was thinking maybe 150 to 200 gems if it looks the way that I expect it to look. As I showed a preview on my Twitter from where they accidentally dropped a different asset on the Pride 2 day, and it's a really good looking asset too. So my guess, since it's under 2,000 editions, that it could be up to 150 to 200 gems. Let me know in the chat what you think. And Heather, what do you think the price prediction will be on that airdrop?
Yeah, very similar. I was definitely thinking 2 to 250 after it's settled. You know, as with most airdrops and very exclusive things, right after it comes out, the first people who realize it and throw it on there, you know, they're going to be putting it probably for 500, 700, but I think the market will settle closer to 2. I think is going to be really, really likely.
Yep. And I agree with Darklink here. I think Darklink was replying to what you were saying about Miles Morales. I agree. I don't think there's enough Miles Morales for it to go down any further. It could possibly go up, but if we look at the number listed, I've been keeping my eye out, the number of them available on the market, we'll see if it's changed any since the drop. There are currently 374, so that number is going down. It was at 400. It's been slowly dropping. Same with the ultra rare. Let's see what the floor is looking like. 243, slightly coming up, but it's a very, very thick floor. It's not thin at all. I'm hoping it slowly rises, but like Heather said, it might be going down from here, especially if they announce a big drop, another big drop. That's what always causes the gym squeeze.
Yes. You know, speaking of Miles too, that the middle rarity, I'm not sure if that was
The ultra rare.
The ultra rare. That pose, did you notice, is almost the exact pose for the cover of the PlayStation game that got released. It's almost exactly the pose, like with the webs coming out and everything. It's only missing like the little fireball thing.
Oh no, I didn't realize that. And I know that was a very popular video game too. It sold really well.
Yeah, if you we put the numbers in the video, the info dump that we did about it, and we were really surprised to find it's one of the, I want to say it was like the top 10, within the top 10 highest grossing PlayStation games. Yeah. It's if you haven't played it too, have you played the other Spider-Man games like prior to that?
I played one. I don't remember which one it was. It was probably like on the original Xbox a long time ago, but it was really cool because I remember you could swing through the city. So I mean, it was great controls.
And it's really interesting because the way this does it, the way the video game went, it was almost like a continuity where like you're still in New York City, but it's a different time, like it's like winter time or whatever.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But they totally changed the mechanics of the mechanics are the same, but they changed like timing that you would make for your jumps and stuff like that because Miles is smaller and scrawnier and all that jazz. It's super interesting game.
It makes sense that they do it that way. G Money says it's pronounced Jean Voucher. I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Jean Voucher.
You're way off. Where'd the N come from? Crypto Case says Pride 1 deserves a better airdrop. So we don't really know what the Pride 1 airdrop's going to be. I think you're saying that it should be better than the Pride 2. Somebody thought that it might be a pixelated version of the Pride 1, but they did say that it was a particular NFT celebrating women. And so some people think it could be another House of Cards NFTs, but nobody knows exactly what it's going to be, but it will be different than the Pride 2 airdrop. Givenchy on IMX could be a wow wow. I agree. Adam says giveaway / snipe Strange Tales ready when you guys are. What are you putting up on the market? I'll try to snipe it. A Strange Tales, let us know. Is it like Strange Tales 110 secret rare? Let us know the rarity and the number on that one. Bruin88 says Halloween would drop Mal's price. Ooh, that's true. There are supposed to be, I don't know if you heard about this yet or not, Heather. I heard a rumor that there's going to be a week of Halloween themed drops at the end of this month. Are you excited about those? What do you think they'll drop? And do you think that'll cause the Miles Morales price to go down?
Right. So as a basic fall girl, maybe pumpkins. That'd be great. I'm always looking for like decor for my vault. Like I told Alex, I was like, I need some Sims like action. Give me some furniture. I want some couches. I want some carpets and coffee tables. Let me set up some cool stuff with my figures. And cool. So I really do think that kind of like gamification aspect in the house setup, like, because everyone loves doing that, right? Every game we do, doesn't matter if it's Fallout, doesn't matter if it's Sims, it doesn't matter what kind of game, Animal Crossing, you're like, okay, this table goes here, this little rug goes here. Constantly looking for like decor things.
I don't know. Maybe is that a girl thing? Let me know in the chat. I don't know if I really wanted to ever set up my furniture in any video games. Just because.
Really?
So I don't
Not
know.
even in Fallout when you let's see, what kind of games do you play?
I mean, I'm big on
so
sports
many of
games, little Call of Duty, but mostly sports games. But I mean, I don't set up my room in my NBA 2K, even though they give you that option.
Fair.
I don't know. Maybe that's a girl thing, or maybe it's just me. I'm just not that picky. All right, we got a snipe coming up for anybody who wants to go after it. Adam is going to be posting a Strange Tales common. Which Strange Tales, bro? There's more than one. A Strange Tales common at 11:55, but we don't know.
That's part of the game. Got to figure out which one.
I guess maybe Strange Tales 110 or 111. All right, we're going to go. Uh-oh, I crashed. All right, so if you guys want to get in there and try to snipe that, you got
110
seconds.
It says.
110. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Mr. Evo said 111, but that's not the one he's dropping. It's Adam. It's 110. So get in there and get that Strange Tales 110 comment. I'm going to try to get in there in time.
Mr. Evo. Oh.
He's trying to trick people. All right, I'm getting in here. I got to sort by Z through A. That'll get you there quicker. Starts with STR. I got 20 seconds. I think I'm going to make it. Strange Tales. Do you guys do any sniping on the market after drops? Are you good at sniping stuff, Heather?
No, we tried for a while, but I think until they incorporate that, like once you've clicked into the buy now and you've like really or wait, have they done that?
They took away the reservation now.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like we did have it and then didn't have it. And so I just wanted to verify that I didn't like make that up. Gotcha. But yeah, we tried for a while. But we just weren't very successful, and then it was just like frustrating. You know?
It does get frustrating. Sometimes you have good days where you're able to snipe 2 or 3 good things off the market. And sometimes you have days where you can't get anything. It's just too slow for you. Today's must be good for me because I was able to snipe that Strange Tales 110. Shout out to Adam. Thank you for posting that for me. It popped up as soon as I got on the page, and I was quick on it. One of them popped up yesterday when we were on the stream right after the drop. A secret rare Miles Morales popped up for 550 gems, and I almost had it. And then somebody tweeted, they showed footage of it. They were the one who actually got the snipe. Man, that would have been a good one right there.
Oh, that's so nice. You know, I can't tell you how much time I spent in some days just like constantly refreshing through like Walt and R2D2 and C3PO and just being like, maybe somebody will mistype, you know, because people really seemed to do that a whole lot. I feel like it doesn't happen quite as often so much, or at least it's not advertised as much on their social medias when it happens.
I mean, there's some theories though that people do it on purpose to like transfer their NFTs to other accounts.
Yeah. And I feel like that's super risky if you're trying to do that because I want to say, don't bots exist for sniping under market floor or something like that? Unless that's just rumor mill.
If you ask BE in the chat, he would tell you, yeah, I'm skeptical. Maybe they exist, maybe they don't. Maybe they used to exist, maybe not so much anymore. I feel like I'm able to snipe stuff whenever I want to, but then when there's a big drop and there's so much traffic, I get tons of lag, whereas other people seem to not have that lag on those days, and they're able to get the snipes better than I am.
What kind of phone are you running?
So I was on the Android for a while, just an older Android, and I ended up getting an Ethernet adapter, which helped my time a lot. But then when I was streaming, I couldn't use my Ethernet adapter, so I ended up going ahead and purchasing an iPad, 9th generation iPad. It was less than $300 at Target.
Man.
And ever since I got that Apple Power, and I told people too, like, I don't want to go to the dark side. I've never used Apple products. I'm Android everything. I don't like that Apple isn't interoperable with everybody else. But I told them I'm going to get my black turtleneck sweater. I'm going to buy an iPad and join the dark side. And ever since I did, I've been hitting these drops quite a bit. So it has paid for itself. Absolutely.
Yeah, we I want to say we had talked about, are you who had shared like a list of processing speeds for smartphones? Yes. Yep. We thought that was the case. I actually mentioned it last night on our live too. But yeah, when you shared that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is why we're not landing stuff. And this also too was when we were in San Diego, which I really feel like that mattered because even though we're in a big city and there's a lot of networks available and everything like that, I'm also concerned about the fact that with being in a big city and so many competing signals in the air, you know, that maybe that was affecting things. We also were on Samsung Galaxy S10s, and I went to our Verizon store and I was like, hey, what can I do to improve like my 5G? And they're like, oh yeah, we just put like one of these 5G SIM cards in. I was like, perfect, let's do it. Oh, and I gave my phones and they were like, they acted like I handed them antiques. They were just like, oh, what are these? And I'm like, well, they're only like 3 years old.
Do you have a flip phone or something?
And no, it's just the S10s. And they were like, no, we can't do anything with these. And I was like, oh, so what's my options? And they were like, well, you can get a new phone. And the S22s were about to come out the following week. And so I was like, well, let me look at this list. And so I went through the list and saw that our current phones were like way down in the 30s, like 37 or something in processing speed.
Right.
And the S22 Ultras are like within the top 10 or something like that.
Yep. They were
with
top
those
5.
Snapdragons. Yeah. And iPhones are a little bit better. But yeah, the S22's Ultras was really nice. And then the Ultra Pros specifically was really nice because Corey and I do all of our filming with the phones.
Oh, nice.
And so we were like, oh man, additional camera features? That sounds cool.
Perfect.
And so, yeah, we ended up upgrading then. And then immediately we had 5G like in our house and all kinds of other stuff. And we started noticing quite a difference in speed. And now because of that, I'm like, well, how much faster is the iPhone and the iPads? Like is it going to be noticeable at this point with it being so close between the S22s and the iPhones?
I'm wondering if you had a noticeable difference moving from San Diego to Kentucky and having less traffic.
So we do, but at the same time, the market and VeVe itself has changed, right? Because in this time, there's been such a massive push and elimination of so many like bot and fraudulent accounts, right? Like we used to never land on comics. It was very rare. And then all of a sudden you can get 5, 6, 7 comics sometimes.
Yep.
And not even with doing the backing out, before the green truck, you could like go through the whole green truck, go back out, and keep going. Whereas before we're like hopeful to get at least one between our phones. And we were driving 30 minutes away to go to a 5G location for that. And so I do feel like we land more drops right now, but it's really hard to say because there's been so many changes.
That's very true. And we got a good question for you in the chat too from G Money. He wants to know if you've been buying Omi.
Yeah, Corey and I, we very specifically set a goal. We wanted to be Omi millionaires.
Nice.
And so we just kept watching, and as it stooped low, we scooped up some here and there. It's still gone lower since, but with the move and everything, we haven't thrown more at it because the move was quite a cost.
Oh, sure.
And then we also, for our move, we only moved in our vehicle. So if it didn't fit, it didn't come. So we didn't bring a single piece of furniture with us or anything like that. So we got here and we had to rebuy everything, all the beds, all the dressers, all the stuff.
Dang.
So we haven't reinvested in Omi, but we keep looking at it and we're like, oh man, it's so cheap.
I know the prices right now. Plus people don't know how to get it because you have to go through so many hoops to get it. So I feel like I got to get some myself. I need to get to that millionaire spot myself before it gets onto a big exchange.
We topped off after the big changes for getting it, and it was so challenging to figure out how to get it. Like even for us, I was like, I was talking with a lot of the women, the women ex VeVe, and I'm like, hey, who's buying Omi right now? Like, what did you do? And unfortunately, all the girls at the time were like, oh yeah, I've already have it, and I'm not buying more right now. And I was like, well, this is really hard. And then we were on Gate.io, and so then they failed to do the exchange. And so we needed to do a manual swap. And I was like not prepared to do that. I spent like a week trying to figure out how to do that. And then it's terrifying, right? I hate moving things manually like that. It's just so stressful. But yeah, we did get our stuff over. And now, it's so interesting, right? The Omi token is so interesting with its kind of like natural scavenging and burning as it's being used.
Right.
And I can't wait until this burn mechanic happens on the platform, especially like VeVe, mentioned here soon we should be getting, I want to say they mentioned like a week ago or 2 weeks ago that within the next coming weeks we're going to be getting a Medium article about the OMI burning, specifically about the existing collectibles on the platform being burned if they haven't sold out. And I'm really, really hoping that means we're super close to being able to choose burning as well, in which case Omi should really start to change as those tokens become more scarce. And we keep saying it, but we just can't wait till VeVe starts like officially promoting itself. Because at this time, all the promotion is coming from users like us, content creators, and then sometimes brands that are advertising, right? Like Marvel sometimes advertises like with Marvel Insider, right? We've got the free airdrops for, winners for their little giveaways. Every once in a while, Disney has shared stuff, Jean-Michel sharing their posts on Twitter and stuff like that. So there is some like, sideline advertisement, but there's not like direct advertisement from VeVe. And right now at this time, we have a little under 700,000 unique users with 7.2 million tokens, and with more drops, we get more tokens. And I'm hoping that with that advertisement, we're going to start getting more unique users. And then once this thing starts to happen and we get the burn mechanics, like, I just can't wait, I'm sure like all of us, for Omi to explode.
Was he still trying to snipe these things?
Yeah, a good one popped up a minute ago, but I wasn't able to get it. But I was going to mention, I don't know if they, because in response to what you were talking about, I don't know if they should really start mass marketing yet before they get interoperability yet, because I feel like
100%.
interoperability is going to be so
Yes.
scary for all the new people who only do VeVe, and then they start to having to be able to transfer things to their own wallets, and then they lose their wallets, and then they get mad about that because they had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth
Yes.
of NFTs. It's going to be really scary when that happens. How do you think they're going to handle that, getting it set up to where we're going to have interoperability, but it's going to be easy enough for newbies to understand?
Yeah, this is something I have thought about a lot, because one of the most important things for me about VeVe is the accessibility. Most importantly, accessibility for the average everyday person, which really matters for women. And the reason why is because women are grossly outnumbered in the investments in like Web3 platform things, right? Crypto, all these things. It's predominantly a male thing. And a lot of that has to do with like women just for whatever reason haven't been investing the time or the effort into figuring it out, or I don't know if it's due to lack of interest or whatever it may be. But the ease of operation of VeVe and the introduction to get more women, like, right, how many of our users have their wives, girlfriends, daughters, friends, whomever,
I know
who are also who are also in the platform, right? And so now, whether they think about it or not, they are invested in Web3, right? They are trading in cryptocurrencies. They are operating in a Web3 platform. And exactly like you're saying, if the interoperability, once that occurs and you start asking people to be doing transfers and messing with wallets, right now, there's users that don't seem to understand they have a wallet. You have a specific wallet address.
Right.
It's one of the things I've been talking again with the women in the women's chat about, the significance too of the metadata, right? And all that additional information and accessing that and what it means to be able to have this. And so I'm really curious to see how they're going to roll it out. My expectation is interoperability will occur, and we're going to see some pretty detailed Medium articles, just like they did for the OME, like the token swaps, to literally specifically walk users through. I really think, VeVe cares about its users, and they want people to be successful in migrating their collectibles into other platforms and not send them off to space just to die.
There's going to be a lot of education, and it's going to be a lot to do with Immutable X. Immutable X is going to have to make sure that they make their end very easy for people to understand too.
Yes.
And that their marketplace is very noob friendly. G Money made a good point here about Patient Hodler. I was watching his live stream yesterday, and he was doing a video about Akomi and VeVe mechanics. You guys should check it out. It's really interesting, and it talks a lot about what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
Golden Retriever Boy says his wife hates VeVe because it gets more attention than her. That's on you, bro. That's on you. Kobe Collect says Heather and Corey are very smart. Love this collab. Yeah, somebody called them the power couple. I agree.
Thank you, Kobe.
Speaking of power couple, shout out to BE. He says Shelby Cobra does VeVe with me.
Yeah, Kobe.
And they just got engaged the other day during a VeVe live stream. So that'll go down in history for their romance, their life, that they got engaged through VeVe. Kinda.
That's so sweet.
Abdullah says, would be good to see my girlfriend buy collectibles and those purses that haven't left the wardrobe. Man, girls in purses, dude. What's the point of spending?
Some of them can't leave the wardrobe, right? They're purely for the wardrobe collection. Okay. You buy a, $600 Coach bag, and then I'm like, well, I can't put my wallet in there. It might get,
You might spill something in there.
ruined.
Fashion Week or whatever.
What's the point of it,
His
though?
girlfriend interested with that.
What's that?
The New York Fashion Week NFT collection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you, we mentioned it in one of our videos, but because we spoke about fashion, did you realize, New York Fashion Week had a lot to do with NFTs this year?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So actually the ticket for the Fashion Week was an NFT. And there was this beautifully designed key made by an Australian company. And it's super beautiful, super detailed. if you could pull it up, even like just New York Fashion Week NFT key,
Sure.
you could see just how pretty it is. And it was that was like one of the main things for it. But in addition to that, so many of the collections, there you go, the second picture, that one, that's it. So beautiful. So that was the NFT that people used to get in. And it was really, really interesting because this is the first time New York Fashion Week has incorporated NFTs into it. And so many of the designers had NFT aspects within it. Tommy Hilfiger, amongst so many more. Yes. And like they had interactive ones too. There was a couple of ones too, like when you entered into their specific areas, you could scan on your phone. Key. I know that dragon key is super cool. You could scan QR codes, and it immediately created an individual wallet for you. So then as you walked around New York Fashion Week and you collected NFTs from different designers, it automatically went into your wallet. And so it was super interesting. There was exclusive access, right? So it created utility as well, right? You have this NFT, you can go do this thing. It was really neat to see this kind of stuff starting to happen in a really totally different, high-end, high fashion kind of aspect.
And the great thing about these is that they are being put into the hands of people who are not NFT collectors, and then
exactly
they get the value on them, and they see, hey, I paid $100 for this, now it's worth $1,000. What's an NFT? And now they're in the NFT game. So I mean, this is just part of getting to mass adoption 100%.
Right. And it's beyond just like, I think most people, if they think of NFTs, they think of kind of like seemingly obscure but popular NFT projects, like
VeVe,
like yep, exactly, like
VeVe.
Yeah, VeVe. And I always forget, like people want to say VeVe instead of speaking it out. And that's not everyone's aesthetic, right? Like, do you like these kind of like computer generated randomized kind of facial features or accessories, or do you like beautifully rendered keys that will give you access to a super limited, super exclusive show, like immediate utility, being utilized with NFTs.
Yeah, and they're probably going to end up, the people who hold on to them long term eventually will be in the metaverse, and we'll have all interoperability. And now you'll have this cool looking animated key that you can put on your wall or something and display, and it has a story behind it, what the utility used to be. All right, it's about time to end the stream. I've been a little longer than usual, but I had Corey and Heather on today, so that was really awesome. I wanted to take some time to hang out with them. Shout out to Greedy, just got here. You're a little late, bro. G Money says Rolling Loud has an NFT program coming that has lifetime entry to shows. And then Ron English also had an NFT that got people entry into his art shows, I guess. But all right. Thank you guys from VeVe and 3, Heather and Corey. Make sure you guys are subscribed to their channel. I have it linked in the description below. Appreciate you guys being on. And good luck, everybody, sniping in the market. We got a stamp drop tomorrow. I'll be live for the stamp drop at the same drop time.
I know.
Thank you guys.
All right, bye. Thank you so much, Bolt.
No problem. See you guys.
Bye.